But if there's anyone who has a question, just call it out, answer it right away. Yes, sir. What's it like working with Streisand? A good question. And I will answer that. That'll be our last question, since it'll go into the, into the music that I'm about to do. So, but it's interesting that you actually have your program opened. It's what? It's what? Oh, it's a program here? Oh, I didn't know that. Very nice. Seems nice. Okay. I don't know. I've not seen that program, so I don't know what that is. Oh. Is that something you've put together? Oh, it's on the internet. Oh, then there's no way I could ever get it. I wouldn't know. I have a hard enough time trying to work the stove. You know what I mean? Yes, anybody else? Yes? What's my favorite piano to compose on? That's a good question. Interestingly enough, I don't have one. And I'll tell you why. Because I have a few different pianos, and it's really mostly where everything is. I mean, if you're in my work room, I have just a regular, good old Yamaha. In the room that we're supposed to, for guests, you have the Steinway to make it look like you really care. But the truth is, you have to write everywhere. I'm going to California. I'll be writing Monday night. I have no idea what piano has been rented. It could be God knows what. And those are a good piano, the God knows what. Very good. For Orthodox people, it's just G-D. It's very... you just write, because a friend of mine told me years ago, it was very interesting, he said to me, it doesn't matter what piano you write on, because eventually the song is going to be played at a bar, and you want to make sure it sounds good at the bar. So whether or not you play a $90,000 piano, it doesn't matter, it's going to end up in some junky little bar, and an upright, it better sound as good there as it sounds there, so it really doesn't matter to me. Anybody else? Just call out, because it's hard to see hands, per se. What did you say? Will the video be available to the public? Absolutely not. I'm sorry. I sell nothing. This is for my personal archive. So at the age of 80, when someone says to me, so I could show them what I did, Well, put on the video. I won't be able to talk to anyone then, because everyone will be talking on the internet, and I'll be still waiting for a phone. No, it's scary. I have to tell you, because I go to a friend's house in L.A. This friend has got the whole thing with the internet. Don't ask, email. I didn't know. I didn't know what email was. I thought this guy was crazy about vowels. Who knew? You know what I mean? Anybody else? Upstairs, by the way? Yes. Is there a favorite song I want to be remembered by? No, because that way, maybe I'll live to 148, Maybe the song would be, "The Doctors Were Wrong." I don't know. The doctors were wrong, he's still living. No, sorry. No. You see, because I know what I'm supposed to say. Well, the way we were, or the chorus. The truth is, I have this philosophical feeling that when it's over, it's over. And hopefully when it's over, I'll go up to heaven and my mother will make me a great veal cutlet, and it won't matter what you remember. What matters is what I remember. Anybody else?
What are you working on now?
What am I working on now? Oh, about trying to get to Chicago. Working on two very exciting projects. Actually, I'll let you in on the first one because it's very exciting. I am working with, believe it or not, John Travolta, or as you know, my double. For the people who didn't laugh, you'll be in the will, and everybody else. I'm working with John Travolta, who is going to be singing in his next movie. He's going to be singing lots of songs. The movie is a story about a man that you might have heard of called Jimmy Rosselli, but it's okay if you didn't hear about him. But he was a singer years ago in the same era as Sinatra. And so I'm going to be scoring that movie, and we are getting ready to record Mr. Travolta, or as I call him, Mr. Travolta. And so I'm going out to meet with him starting Monday. So that's why I'm going out to L.A. So that's one project. That movie will be out at Christmas. And the other thing I'm working on, which is almost finished, is a show which is based on the movie Sweet Smell of Success, which some of you might have seen years and years ago. And hopefully that will be out in next September, September 2000. So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm trying to figure out, when I work with Barbra Streisand on New Year's Eve, she will be in Vegas. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get from Vegas back to New York because with the Y2K, I'm starting to think that I'm going to buy a horse. I'm just going to, I'm so scared about, I have to tell you, CNN has freaked me out. They have totally freaked me out because it's like, I'm too scared now. I know January 1st is going to come. Everything's going to be fine, January 1st. Meanwhile, I'm going to have a heart attack thinking about what's going to happen, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'll take one more question, then we'll do your question, if there's anybody else. How old was I when I started? Believe it or not, I was about 5.5 years old. My sister was 2 years older, and now she's 20. And she was taking piano lessons, and the thing was she wasn't very good, but when she finished the piano lessons, I would go up to the piano and I could start to figure out what was happening. And my father said, he's got a good ear. Now, of course, my father was a very good musician, so it kind of was in the family. Now, getting to Barbra Streisand. What's it like to work with her? Well, it's fascinating and it's wonderful. Of course, it has its ups and downs. The thing is, she really knows what she wants, and I've always said to the people that we hire to do the, quote, gig with her, I always say to them, if you're not in the mood to give 120% of your life and to give possibly 18-hour, even 20-hour days, don't sign up to do this. Because when you strive to go to the moon, when you really strive to do something so spectacular to get an A++, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a tremendous amount of commitment. And if you're willing to make the commitment, the chances are she will bring you home, and she will bring you home as the captain to Mars or whatever. She will get you over the moon. So that's the greatness. I will tell you a fast Barbra Streisand story. When we did the tour with her, we also were in London, and her birthday occurred while we were in London on a Sunday. And her manager wanted to give her a party, and because of, it's so difficult, with security, this and that, he didn't really tell anybody until Saturday night where the party was going to be. He didn't even fax the information. He actually called everyone so that no secretary possibly could see the fax and then tell the police or whatever. So we all went on this Sunday to this place, in total security, figuring no one possibly could have heard of this. We get there to this restaurant. Believe it or not, there are two girls with autograph books waiting for Barbra Streisand. So I said, look, girls, I guarantee you Miss Streisand will sign this, but I'm dying to know, how could you possibly know where this party was going to be, for her birthday, when I didn't even know about it till last night. And they said to me, we followed the cake. These girls stayed outside the Dorchester Hotel and waited because they knew it was her birthday. They saw a big truck say, happy birthday, Barbara, with the cake. And they just followed the cake to the restaurant. So I said to them, stay right here. I'm calling the CIA because we need people like you. You know what I mean?